Getting under 10% body fat into those single digits is like the pinnacle. When you get there, your physique just changes. Everything is different and you feel different, probably psychologically, but also physically. And I know that you're probably aiming to get there. For me, it was a goal of mine for the longest time. And I got under 10% body fat by utilizing different methods, not just the traditional kinds of things. So what I'm gonna share in this video are 5 ways to change up your lifestyle, change up your diet, your training, to get yourself under 10%, because that last few pounds that gets you underneath 10% is really the toughest little bit. So let's break it down. I do want to make sure you hit the red subscribe button and then hit that little bell icon. After this video, please check out Sun Warrior. They've got 2 things that I highly recommend. They've got their lean meal, which is like a meal replacement that is super, super clean and very low carb and keto friendly, but it is epic. Utilizing some chia, utilizing pea protein, utilizing hemp protein. The snickerdoodle flavor is insanely good. And also check out their Warrior Blend, which is a pea and hemp blend, and it's the protein powder that I use. So highly, highly recommend them. I'll link out to both of them, and there is a special discount, 15% off for anyone that watches my channel. So special discount you're not gonna find anywhere else, down below in the description. Everything I'm gonna talk about is different, because I'm not here to give you the one size fits all approach. I wanna give you a different way of looking at things so you can shock your body a little bit and get yourself into those single digits. Number 1 is change up your meal timing. Even if you're not changing your calories, put yourself into a deficit at a different time of the day. Let me give you an example. If you're normally eating at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m., well, your deficits, your time in between meals, is falling in the same place every day. Now, our body has different hormonal processes that happen at different times of the day. We may have more fat-burning hormones at one time in the morning than we do at a different time in the afternoon. And if we're eating at the same time every day, we're just falling into the same rut where we're in that deficit during the same time every day. So why not try switching it up? Try eating at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. so that your deficit in the morning, when you're totally on an empty stomach, falls into a different time period. A simple example is your cortisol levels, your adrenaline, your catecholamines that actually burn fat, your enzyme activity like hormone-sensitive lipase is typically more elevated in the morning. Well, what if it just so happens that you're typically eating your breakfast right when you have the most optimal time to be burning fat? If you're consuming food, you're not going to be burning fat at that time period. You don't start burning the fat until the food is digested and insulin levels are lower. So the point is, just switch up your timing. Never keep it constant. Keep regimented, keep strict, but just space out the timing, go a little bit further between your meals just to mess with things. Number 2 is extend the period of time after your cardio before you eat. This is a simple one, but a common theme that I see is people want to just eat right after their cardio because it can make them a little bit hungry. Okay, so you do your cardio and you feel like you need to stop the muscle from wasting, so you immediately eat. Well, you have what is called post-exercise oxygen consumption, and you burn a lot of fat after your cardio. One of the things that I have consistently done for 10 years, and one of the things that really assisted me in losing 100 pounds, was never eating right after my cardio. I shouldn't say never, occasionally I do, but I usually push it for an hour or 2. Why? Because you still have the same absorption capacity 2 hours after your cardio as you do right after. So if you're timing it in such a way where you can get the most fat burning with your cardio by waiting a little bit before you eat, then by all means do it. If that means get up at, say, 5 a.m. and don't eat your breakfast until 7 a.m. after you finish your cardio early, then so be it. See, we're talking about little things to hack the body. If your body's used to being fed right after your cardio, switch it up. You might just have a different hormonal response, different interaction with different enzymes, different glucagon response that allows you to burn more fat. The third thing that I would recommend is play around with what is called a protein sparing modified fast. Now, it's not literally fasting. It's something I've talked about in videos. It's something that I implement to maintain myself around 7-ish% year round. Okay, a protein sparing modified fast is where you go aggressively low on your calories, but you're really just consuming high amounts of protein. However, I recommend doing this like 1 or 2 days at a time. So maybe take 1 day a week and say, I'm only gonna consume 1,000 calories today, but I'm gonna consume it all in protein. Okay, you're not consuming carbs, you're not consuming much fat, maybe just little trace amounts, because you're really trying to upregulate the nitrogen content so that you don't break down muscle, but you can still be in aggressive deficit or be in an aggressive deficit. This is very, very critical. And in fact, when you look at how medical weight loss is typically done in a supervised setting, they're usually implementing things like this. The difference between what I'm recommending and what they would do, they're putting people on this for months on end. I don't necessarily condone that. I'm talking about changing it up. If your body is trying to liberate fats as a fuel source and you're continually feeding it fats, well, it's never having an opportunity to pull from your fat stores. So 1 or 2 days a week of just jacking your calories down and jacking the protein up can make a big difference. Now, this can be with good, lean quality meat. It can be with a protein shake. It can be with tuna. I really am not concerned as long as it's a good quality. When I'm doing something like this, again, it's usually where I would use a protein shake like Sun Warrior, so I highly recommend them. Feel free to use the link down below if you want to save a couple bucks, or you can go get it on Amazon and not save a couple bucks. It's all good. The next one is doing full body lifts, not high intensity interval training. Yes, you should do HIIT too, but I'm talking about weird esoteric things that are going to change it up. Okay, we think cardio and we think I'm going to go for a run, or we think cardio, we think I'm going to go ride the stationary bike, or I'm going to go on the elliptical, or I'm going to knit a sweater. But that is not the kind of cardio that I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing a HIIT style workout, but at a low intensity. So think about this: battle ropes, but going slow. Okay, some burpees, but going slow. Some squat thrusters, but going slow. Oh, how about hopping on the sled where you're going to push a little bit of weight with a sled push? How about doing it really slow? Point is, we don't always have to do these HIIT or plyometric movements with intense velocity and explosiveness. That is great, I love it. Don't get me wrong, HIIT is a huge part of my life. But low intensity, steady state cardio doesn't need to just be moving one part of your body. You see, what happens is cardio is beneficial because you're liberating fatty acids. You could make the argument that by moving your full body while you're doing low intensity interval training or low intensity steady state, you're liberating fats from all different areas of the body. Some may negate against that, but there's some research that shows that maybe you do lose a little bit of the intracellular triglycerides in a specific given area of your body. So I'll go in, I'll do 30 minutes of just cruising along at a slow intensity as if I was going for a run, except the difference is I'm bouncing around at a slow pace like a weird little bunny rabbit that took a downer. This next one is implementing proper diet breaks. Now, originally I wasn't even gonna have this on the list, but I recorded a video about it recently and it just prompted me that this is important. So diet breaks are very important if you want to get under 10% and stay under 10%. Why? Because most people that are starting from 20, 25, 30% body fat and working themselves down to get under 10%, they've had to reduce calories a lot to get there. And if they really want to get down to that 5, 6, 7% and really get the physique they really are after, then what's going to happen is the amount of calories they're going to have to shrink to would be just astronomically low, very, very low. So implementing a proper diet break every once in a while, like every 2, 3, 4 weeks, could be very, very effective at making it so you don't have to decrease your calories so low to get there. So what you do for a proper diet break, as I mentioned in the other video that I did, is you take your current weight and you eat at maintenance calories to maintain that weight. The goal of a diet break is not to gain or lose weight. You take 2 weeks or so where you eat at maintenance. If you're 150 pounds, you eat at maintenance for 150 pounds. If you're 175 pounds, you eat at maintenance for 175. If you're 200, you eat at maintenance for 200. You don't eat at maintenance from your old weight. So you're not going back to eating like you were 200 pounds if you weigh 150. You're not going back to eating like you're 300 pounds. You're not trying to increase calories tremendously. You're just saying, well, what should I eat if I was not trying to lose weight and I was trying to maintain this weight? You do that for 2 weeks and then you go back into a small deficit and suddenly things work again. And this is very, very critical, mainly for maintaining sub 10% body fat. So as always, keep it locked in here on my channel. If you want more of these videos, don't forget to comment down below and I'll see you tomorrow.